Hi, in this video I want to teach you how to make this poncho. It's all done a crochet, very easy to make. I have quite a few requests on how to make poncho for adults in English and in Spanish. And I decided to do this one, and I'm gonna do another one for fall and winter. Both of them are gonna be very easy to make. And here is the material you're gonna need to make this piece. To make this poncho, the yarn I'm using is Bernat satin. One is white and the other one is crimson. Both of them are medium 4, and they suggest that you can use a 5mm crochet hook, and I'm using a 4mm crochet hook. You will need tapestry needle and scissors. To start the top border, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do red flowers and the border on white. They're very easy to make, and let's start making them. To start the flower, we're gonna start with a slip knot. And we're gonna chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now we're gonna go to the first chain, and we're gonna do a slip stitch and form a circle. Now we're gonna chain 3. 1, 2, and 3, and those 3 count as the first double crochet. Now inside the circle we're gonna make 23 double crochet, and this chain 3 will be the number 24. So like this, you're gonna make 24 double crochet in total with those chain 3. I'm gonna continue off camera, and I will meet you here when I finish with my 24 double crochet. Here I finished my first row, and as I work, I was losing the tail inside. Now I'm gonna count 1, 2, and in the third chain on the top I'm gonna do a slip stitch. And like that I finished that first row. Now for the second row, you're gonna chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and you're gonna skip the next chain space and go to the next one and do a single crochet. Chain 3, skip that next one and go to the next one, skipping one in the middle, and go to the next one and do a single crochet. Chain 3, skip the next one and go to the next one and do a single crochet. Like that you're gonna do this row, and you're gonna finish with 12 of these space of chain 3 all the way around. Here I'm gonna finish this row with a slip stitch at the same space I did my last slip stitch. And like that you're gonna finish row number 2. For row number 3, you're gonna do a slip stitch inside those chain 3 space, and that will bring you the stitch in the inside, and you're gonna chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. And that counts as the first double crochet. Now you're gonna do an extra 9 double crochet in that space for a total of 10 double crochet with those chain 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like that you're gonna continue until you have 10 double crochet. Here I finished my first petal of the flower with those 10 double crochet. Now in the next space of those 3 chain, we're gonna do a single crochet. Now we're gonna do 10 double crochet in the next chain 3 space for the next petal. And like that you're gonna continue. In one space you do your 10 petal, and in the next space you do a single crochet. In the next the 10 double crochet, and like that you're gonna continue until you have 6 petals for your flower. And then here you're gonna finish with a single crochet, and I will meet you here to show you how to finish the flower. Remember 10 double crochet in each in every second space. Here I have the flowers almost done, and to finish you're gonna come here to the first petal that you did, and at the chain 3 space you're gonna count 1, 2, and in the third chain you're gonna do a slip stitch, chain 1, cut your yarn, leaving a little bit of tail. That way it's easy for you to lose that tail. With the tapestry needle you will lose that tail. And you can do 6, 7 flowers. It will be easier for you to do the flowers first, and then just you have to do the white part and attach them. And only one you do the square, and then the other one as you go you will be attaching the flowers. So I will show you how to do that now. Now to make the square, we're gonna do slip knot, and we're gonna go in between any of these petals. We're gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and between the number 5 and the number 6 we're gonna do a single crochet. In that space we did the slip stitch, and then now we do a single crochet, just like that. Now we're gonna chain 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now we're gonna do wrap our yarn around the hook, and in that single crochet we're gonna do a double crochet, and that's our first corner. The corners are made with 10 chain, and the spaces in between are 5 chains. And in each double crochet, single crochet, we're going to do a double crochet on the top. So now we're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and between the 5 and the number 6 we're going to do a single crochet. We're going to count 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 chain. Now because we have to work on top of the single crochet, wrap it around the hook and do a double crochet on top of that one. And that's the space in between the corners. Now we're going to chain 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and between the 5 and the 6 we do a single crochet, like that. We had 2 corners done. Now we're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, put yarn on the hook, and here in the middle we have to do a double crochet. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and between the 5 and the 6 we do a single crochet, like that. Now we're going to chain 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Wrap your yarn on the hook, and you see now we have to work on top at the single crochet, and we do there a double crochet. And that's another corner. Like that you're going to continue. Now you have to chain 5, do a single crochet in between the petals, chain 5, do a double crochet here, chain 10, and okay, let me see. Yeah, you chain 5 and do a single crochet, chain 5, do a double crochet, chain 10 and do a single crochet, and then from there you do another 5 and 5, and you'll have your 4 corners. Exactly the same, you're going to repeat until you have your 4 corners. Here I'm going to finish this row with a slip stitch in the first single crochet that we did to start, and we're going to chain 1. We're going to cut that yarn, lose the tail, and if you put your finger in the 4 corners, you'll end with a square like this. Okay, and now you have to do one completely like this, a completely square, and then after that the other one you'll be attaching one to this one and to the next one like that. Now I'm going to show you how to attach this one to that one there. To start the square and to attach it to this one here, we're going to go to the middle of one petal, exactly like we start to make the square, and you're going to do a slip stitch here, and you're going to do a single crochet in the same space. Now in the other one, since this one is the first corner that I'm going to do and attach to this one here, I don't going to chain 10, I'm going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now I'm going to attach this corner to this one here with a single crochet, and that single crochet counts as number 5, as chain number 5. Okay, remember I have 4, this will be 5, and then I continue 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Wrap my yarn around the hook, and I do my double crochet on top of this single crochet here. Now I'm supposed to make 5, but I'm gonna make 2. 1 and 2. I'm gonna come here to this chain 5 space, and I'm gonna do a single crochet, and that counts as chain number 3. That will be 3, and then I do 4 and 5, and then I count here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and between 5 and 6 I do my single crochet. Now again, 1 and 2, come to the chain 5 space, and this will be chain number 3, that was a single crochet, and then 4 and 5. Wrap my yarn on the hook and do my double crochet in here. Now I have to work in the corner. I will do again 1, 2, 3 and 4. The single crochet will be chain number 5, and then I continue 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Come here on top of the petal and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and between 5 and 6 do the single crochet, and like that you attach one square to the other one. Now you're going to continue finishing this square like we did the other one. Now you have to do 5 chain and a double crochet, 5 chain and a single crochet, 10 chain and a double crochet, 5 chain and a single crochet, 5 chain and a double crochet, 10 chain and a single crochet, 5 chain and a double crochet, and 5 chain and a slip stitch in this single crochet, and like that you will finish that square. This poncho you can make for different size. If you want it for a little girl, you will decide as you make the squares. This is gonna go around the shoulder. If you think that the size of the girl is this size around the shoulder, you'll finish with this amount of squares in there. If you want it for a teenager, you have to put more. You have to measure as you go. If you want it for a present and you don't want the person to know, just measure the person from shoulder to shoulder, and you have the measurement there for future reference too. And for an adult, you will continue as you, if it's for yourself, until you wrap around your shoulder this piece. I'm gonna try mine with 8 squares. For me, if I found that is enough, I will finish it like that, or I do 9 or 10, how many I need. And then when I finish, I will show you how to attach 2 squares to make the circle, the last square. I'll show you how to attach that one. So go ahead and start making this and measure as you go. Here I attach a flower, but a flower is not enough for my size, so I will do 9. And here is the number 9. That is the one that's going to be attached to this end and the other one to make the circle. We're going to start like we attach these other ones here with a slip knot. We're going to go to the center of the petal in between 5 and 5, or 5 and 6. Chain 1 and do a single crochet in that space there. Now we're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and the number 5 will be the single crochet, 5, and then you have to do 5 more, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That will be the 10 in the corner. Now you're gonna wrap your yarn in the hook and do a single crochet, double crochet on top of the single crochet, chain 2. This single crochet counts as number 3, 4, and 5. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Between 5 and 6, we do a single crochet. 1, 2, do a single crochet. 1 and 2, wrap your yarn on the hook and do a double crochet top of that single crochet. And now we're going to chain 1, 2, 3, and 4. Go to the corner, do number 5, that is the single crochet, and we count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Come back here to the center, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and between 5 and 6 do a single crochet. Now you continue until you go to the next corner, and instead of chaining 10, you'll chain only 4, and then we'll meet here to attach this end to the other one. Here I have my 4th chain. Now you have to make sure that your circle is not twisted. All the inside are facing the other side inside, like that. Okay, this is the right size up. You're gonna come to this corner, do a single crochet, and that counts as chain number 5, and we have to do 5 more. Wrap your yarn on the hook, come here, do a double crochet, chain 2, come here, that's chain number 3, and then 4 and 5, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and number 6, between 5 and 6 you do your single crochet, chain 2, come here, do a single crochet, 1 and 2, wrap your yarn on the hook, do a double crochet, chain 4, come to the corner and do a single crochet, that counts as chain number 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, go on top of the petal count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, between 5 and 6, do a single crochet. Now you have to finish this chain 5, a double crochet, chain 5, and a slip stitch, and you will finish this part, the top part like this of the poncho. Now we're gonna start doing the shoulder part and the piece on the top. I divided in the front and the back the piece. I have 4 flowers for the back and 5 for the front. This will be in the side like that, in each one. And here we will have this on the middle for the back. Now I did a slip knot, and then I'm gonna come here in the center. I'm gonna chain 1, and in the same space we're gonna do a single crochet. Now we're gonna chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And if you're making this smaller, you can do 5 chains. Do a single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Go to the next space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Go to the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Here in one of the corners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And go to here. Like this, you're gonna continue all the way around until you get to this one. Here you will just start, and you will go until there, and then I will show you how to finish this row and start the next one. And remember, I'm making this for my size. I'm a size large, so depend the size that you're making this, you will do the flowers, and depend to the type of yarn that you're using. If you're using a thinner yarn, you may have to do more flowers, and if you are using a thicker yarn and a bigger crochet hook, maybe you have to do less flowers. So depend on the yarn that you're using too, is the size of the motif that you will be making. Here I am in the last space that to close this row. Here is where I start with my single crochet. Now what we're gonna do is chain 2, 1 and 2, wrap a yarn in the hook twice, and we're gonna do a treble crochet here through that single crochet that we start. Pass through 2, 2, and 2, and that is the last space. You're gonna think that because I did 2 here and a treble crochet don't gonna be big enough, or a missing chain, but if you look at the size at this space and the size of this one are exactly the same. If you do 3 chain and 3 wrap around in your hook, that will be, or 2 wrap around the hook will be 1 chain too long, don't gonna be in the middle. If you look, that space is the same size as the other space of 6. And here we end at the center of this stitch, or that space, and now we're going to chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and that is the beginning of the next row. Go here, do a single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do a single crochet. Like that, you're going to continue all the way around until you get here, and you will do exactly the same that you did here. You're going to chain 2, wrap it around the yarn the hook twice, and do your treble crochet. But I will meet you here and I will show you one more time. Here I am in the last one. I'm going to chain 2, 1 and 2, wrap the yarn around the hook twice. I like to pass it through this one, if you see here, through that one here, and to this one and here. Okay, I like to pass it through these 2, like that, and then pass it through 2, 2, and 2, like that. Now you're gonna continue chaining 6 and continue doing this for as many rows that you like. If you want this to be lower, you do more in here, but if you want this to be a little higher, you do less in here. I'm gonna do mine off camera, and I will let you know how many I did for mine. That way I give you a reference if you wanted to do it like mine or you want to do a little different. For mine, and in the last row, I'm gonna give 4 chain and a single crochet. That way it's a little narrower on the top, because I want to give it a finish, and I want to do a chain to pass it through here, through the top, and gather the piece each time I put it on and off. That is a way that you can do it, or you can do with less chain at the top. You can do first with 4 and then with 3, and make it just narrow as you go, if you don't want the chain to gather your piece. But for me, I like it with the chain. That way it will be easier for me to put it on and off. So I'm gonna continue off camera doing this. And the last one, when you're gonna do the last row, the last space, you're gonna do all chain and a slip stitch, chain 1 and cut your yarn. You don't gonna do it like this, because you don't need to be on the middle anymore. You're just gonna finish that row and you finish here. But that will be for the last row, and I will show you that when I get there. So I'm gonna do mine off camera, and I will let you know how many rows I'm gonna give to mine before I do the row of 4 chain. And then after that, we're gonna continue working in the bottom part of the piece. Here I finished row number 6 with 6 chain. Now row number 7 will be 5 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and a single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and a single crochet. Like that, this is gonna make the top part a little narrower. So continue doing that in row number 7, 5 chains each. Here I finished with a chain of 2 and a double crochet. Now I'm gonna chain 1, 2, 3, and 4, and a single crochet. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and a single crochet. And this will be the last row of this design. Here I finished a row of 4 chain space, and I'm gonna leave it like that. Here you see, and instead of chaining 2 and doing a single crochet, I did my 4 chain, and I did a slip stitch, and now I'm gonna chain 1. I'm gonna cut my yarn, and I'm gonna leave that tail there. I don't gonna lose it yet. That way I know that is the back part of the piece. That's the back place that I want the back to be. Okay, so I will lose that later. Later when I do a chain to pass it through here, and I know that in this side here, in the center of this red flower here, that will be my center of the front. That's why I leave this to guide me when I pass my chain through here. Now we're gonna work in the bottom part. Now I'm gonna start doing the bottom part, and as I did this one in here, I'm gonna do this one starting here. See, this is the center at the back. I'm gonna start here, and instead to do 6 chain like I did here, I'm gonna do from 7 to 8 chain. That way it's a little more loose for the part of my arms. So I'm gonna do a little more loose in that part there. If you're making this for a little girl and you start here with 5 chain and instead of 6, you can do here from 6 to 7 chains. It depends on the size that you're making the piece. So let's start now making the bottom part. Here, this is the center of the back here. You see I have my marker here, and here to the center of the back. I have a slip knot here. And now I'm gonna do a slip stitch, a single crochet, exactly like I did the other side. A single crochet, and I'm gonna chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I'm gonna do this row of 7. I'm gonna try it around, and if I found that it's a little too tight, the next row I will do 8. I don't gonna undo the row of 7. I just gonna add one more chain to the next row, and that will be fine just like that. So you're gonna continue doing exactly as you did in this part, and you're gonna continue doing that. Here I finished this row. To finish here, because I'm doing 7, I did 3 chain and a treble crochet. If you're doing 8, you can do 4 chain and a quadruple crochet, and that way it will bring you to the center. Here, if you see, they are pretty much the same size, these two space. And now you're gonna continue doing the next row. For mine, I'm gonna continue with the space of chain of 7. For the bottom part of mine, I only gonna give 12 row. I don't want it that long. But you want it longer, you can give it more row. It's up to you. I'm gonna show you how you're gonna count how many rows you have, because it's a really little bit confusing counting these stitches like that. You're gonna count this one here is the row of the flower, and then you're gonna start here 1. That hole is 1. This single crochet is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. The last one. Like that, you're gonna count this row. It will be easier for you. Now here at the end, on the last row, and instead of making 3 chain and a treble crochet, what I did was chain 7, the slip stitch here, and now I'm gonna chain 1, cut that yarn, and then I will lose that tail. Now I'm gonna do the chain for the top part to gather here the top part of the poncho. At the end of the chain, I'm gonna put these fringes. That's very easy to make. I have here a piece of cardboard that measures 20 centimeters long, and if you divide it in half like this, it will be 10 centimeters long. So if you wanted an 8 centimeter, you will make a 16, or if you want a 6, you will make a 12. I already have a tapestry needle with a piece of yarn at the color I'm making mine, and now I'm gonna wrap around the cardboard for 18 piece of a tail or row or whatever it's called. This is 1. I'm gonna wrap around for 18. I count that one as 1 in the front and 1 in the back. So that will be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Now you're going to cut this tail, and you're going to pass the tapestry needle through here. We're going to leave this tail long enough, that way we lose it with the rest. Now I'm going to do a double knot here on the top. And I'm going to bring it to the top, right to the top. Now I'm gonna cut this here. I just need to put this. And now I don't want this knot to show, so I'm gonna flip it around like this. I have the tail here in my hand. What you're gonna do is wrap it around and pass it through here to tie a knot. Now we're gonna wrap around this many times you like. That's 3 and 4 for mine. I'm gonna pass this through here to the middle, and I'm gonna pass it back again. That way I can tie the knot in the inside. And then here is where the chain gonna be attached, in that part of it. Here I'm gonna do a knot to secure this. And now I'm gonna cut this evenly. And you're gonna do 2 of these. And now I'm gonna do the chain, and I attach each end to this here, just like this. Here I pass the crochet hook to that stitch. That is the one that I did the knots on the other side. And through here I'm gonna do my chain. The chain gonna be the length that you need for yours, depending on the size of the person. Like I said, you can do at the end a pom-pom, or you can do a flower. It's up to you what you want to do for the end of your chain. And the length of the chain, you have to measure in your body or the person's body the length that you need to do a bow in the front. Here I finished attaching my other fringe. Remember, before you attach the second one, you have to pass, because you attached the first one already, you have to pass your chain for the first row, chain 4, the small space there, you have to pass it through, and then when you finish passing it to the other side, you'll attach then the other fringe. And you lose the tails and the white part, and you'll have done your poncho. Now I'm gonna put it on my mannequin, and I will show you the end result. Here is the end result. I really love the combination of the 2 colors, the red and the white. It looks really nice. Well, I hope you like it, and give the thumbs up, and if you like it, and subscribe to my channel if you are not already a subscriber, and have a beautiful day. Bye.